Hello, audience, and goodbye for later. It's Omegatron and Charlie. Hey. Hey, Charlie. Charlie is great. Ah, man, people are looking at me. I'm just talking to myself, it's okay. Anyway, it's time to talk about Starbound. Come on, Charlie. He's great. He's a ham cat. If you give a cat a piece of ham, they will love you forever. So Starbound is a new game that's being developed by Chucklefish. I just want to run through a list of some of the things that you can do in the game that's been announced. So the left and right mouse buttons let you equip 2 items at once if they're both one-handed items, so dual wielding is possible, which is pretty awesome. I mean, that's something that I always wanted to see in Terraria and Minecraft, which are both similar type games. Starbound focuses a lot more on exploration than the other games do. I'd rather explore than build towers of safety. Also, there's crouching and sneak mode, so you can sneak past enemies. And I know they said that there's going to be items that make your sneaking abilities better. They're discussing like how that will work in PvP though, which I also think will be interesting. Another cat! Two cats. I don't know that cat's name. Anyway, they were discussing how sneaking will work in PvP because that kind of offers some challenge for developing. Also, I know that you're able to pan your view so you can see things farther than your screen, and different items will increase the amount that you can pan. And I think they developed that mostly because I know there will be sniper rifles in the game. So you'll be able to hit people from much farther distances and be much more accurate if you're a sniper. So I'll probably end up trying that at some point. Items are procedurally generated, which means that no 2 items are the same. Both their looks and stats are procedurally generated, so you'll never find, or I mean, I guess you would eventually, but you'll be very hard-pressed to find 2 items that are exactly alike. There will be vanity slots in the game, so if you find equipment that you're a big fan of, but you don't want to get rid of it, like you want to still look cool, then you can keep that in your vanity slot, so that's what will show up on your body. There will also be tech slots for things like jetpacks. And I'm assuming there will probably be night vision or some other things like that. The in-game currency is called pixels, which I thought is actually pretty funny because I always wondered how all of the monsters in video game worlds got all the gold that they had. Your role in combat will be determined by the kind of gear you equip. Similar to in Terraria, where you had items that made you better at magic or better at range and things like that. But I know that there's been talk about healing gear, and I already said something about sniper rifles, so I assume that there will be sniping gear and things like that. Each role will require, at least at endgame, so much gear that you can't switch it all at once, so you won't be able to switch your role on the fly, which I think makes the game a little more fair. There will be directional lighting, which is actually the only gameplay video of Starbound at this point. It shows off the flashlight, which I think is actually really cool. They show off just a regular flashlight that you equip in a item slot, so you could equip a gun, like a handgun, and a flashlight, which was kind of cool. I know they also said that some weapons will have flashlight mods, so there will be, that'll free up another hand. Stairs will be in the game. I was really excited about that, mostly because in Terraria, you did a lot of jumping. In fact, it was just mostly jumping is what you did. Because there were no stairs and your characters couldn't register anything as stairs, so you had to jump on everything. Oh, hang on, audience, you're getting some water on your lens. It's raining. There will be a creature catalog, which, from what I can tell, is a lot like the Sporepedia in Spore. You can just document everything you come across. And I hope, at least, that it'll tell you what planet it's on, things like that, so you can find it again if you want it. There will be bosses, like in Terraria, which was one of the more fun things. In my opinion, Terraria was better than Minecraft in a lot of ways. One of them being that in Minecraft there was no real ultimate goal. In Terraria, you can kind of say the same thing, but there were bosses and stuff to fight. In Starbound, most monsters won't damage you just by physical contact, unlike other games. They have to go through an attack animation to actually damage you. So that means that melee is considerably less dangerous and risky. Enemies also have a line of sight, so they will remain non-hostile until you get near them. Hey, bird! Shh! I'm doing a video. Even the trees in Starbound are procedurally generated, so even trees won't look the same, which I think is pretty cool. The developers have talked about playable races, humans and some sort of like ape-like creatures, but there haven't been any other confirmed playable races, but there's a lot on the suggestion forums, so you can take a look at that if you want. There will be like slopes, which makes vehicle travel and things like that a little more smooth. Right now there's no fall damage in the game, but the developers have definitely talked about planning it. And they want to make it so that enemies also take fall damage, which is something that has not occurred in most games. Most games don't consider that enemies are also bound by the laws of physics. There will be water pressure in this game, which is something new. So when you're digging out underground aquifers and things like that, if you're not careful, it can shoot out and flood places. Planets are all procedurally generated based on coordinates. I'm assuming a coordinate is sort of like a seed number, which means that you can share coordinates with other players. You can share coordinates on the forums so that they can visit your planets. If you travel far enough in one direction, you'll loop around in Starbound. Planets are spherical in this world. All planets aren't the same, and they have very day and night cycles, and some are even perpetually day or perpetually night. I suggested on the forums that there should be tidally locked planets, so one side is always day and one side is always night, but I don't know if that's going to be in there or not. I really hope it is, because I like science. You can claim a planet as your homeworld and rename it, and you can set so that explosions and things like that can't be activated on your homeworld, which means that griefing won't be as big of a deal. There will be smaller biomes inside of big biomes, which adds some more variety to the worlds and some more realism. I think the majority of the not exploring part of the game takes place on your space station, which has 5 decks, the bridge being the highest deck, and a research lab. The research lab is important for item blueprints, which are discovered or given to you by NPCs, I'm assuming by doing quests. But the item blueprints let you build new and better things, which is kind of interesting, so you don't just automatically know how to build everything that there is. The terrain on planets is fully alterable. Crafting is a little more realistic in Starbound in the sense that very simple things can be crafted on your person, but more complicated things like vehicles and mechs have to be built on your space station with your crafting station. There will be tech trees, I'm assuming at the research lab, that will let you develop better technology and things like that. Terrain blocks and things like that will have... Stop it, mean tree. Terrain blocks and things like that will have variable appearances. They'll have variable appearances, which means that they won't all look the same, so it'll give some more realism to the game. Even the quests that are given by NPCs will be procedurally generated. Each planet will have a challenge level which displays how difficult it is. Now, similar to hard mode in Terraria, some planets will have the challenge level 100, which means that no matter how high leveled you are in the game, it's still challenging. Which means that even at the end of the game, you'll still have some challenge to do, so the game doesn't really ever end. The developers have already said that there will be no food meter, no microtransactions, and no item durability, so you don't have to constantly be running around and trying to keep yourself alive. You can build mechs and I assume pilot them. And I want an army of space penguins so that I can kill the other Omega friends in PvP. I'm assuming you can PvP anywhere you want, but there will also be like asteroids and things with specific game modes, and I'm hoping for Capture the Flag. Make an account on PlayStarbound.com and find Omegatron on the forums.